Were you just so upset and just so frustrated and depressed? Did you have thoughts of killing your kids?
I have thought about killing all of us. I feel it's not fair.
This video contains the interview of a woman with postpartum depression who smothered her infant daughter. On June 9, 2017, Amber Sagarnaga was home alone with her 3 children while her fiancé was at work. Sagarnaga suffered from depression and had recently lost the ability to make it to her therapy sessions. Although she had originally decided to put her daughter up for adoption when she was born, once she held the child, Sagarnaga changed her mind. Unfortunately, she was never able to fully form a bond with her daughter. Unable to deal with an infant, Sagarnaga quickly developed the habit of ignoring her for long periods of time. When the baby cried, Sagarnaga would cover her with a blanket and leave her in another room. On this night, she pressed a heavy comforter around the baby tighter than usual, and hours passed before Sagarnaga's husband came home and checked on her. When he discovered that she was unresponsive, he called 911 and attempted to perform CPR. The medical team arrived, but were unable to resuscitate the baby.
Amber Sagarnaga admitted that she placed a heavy comforter over the child because she was crying. The baby was taken to a nearby hospital, but did not survive.
Hi, my name is Brad McMillan. I'm a detective. Have a seat, please. My name is Brad McMillan. I'm a detective with the Glendale Police Department, okay? I'm here to talk to you about what happened. I need to get some information from you first, okay? Okay. Did you grow up here in Glendale?
Yeah, most of my life. I've been here since I was 6 years old.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Do you have family here?
Mm-hmm.
Mom?
And my dad's family.
Mom, dad, or?
No, just my dad's family. My mom's family's in California.
I'm sorry?
My dad's family lives out here.
Okay. In Glendale or in Arizona?
And like Phoenix, Glendale, kind of, mostly Phoenix, yeah.
Okay, all right. Did you go to school here in Glendale?
Yeah, I moved around a lot. But my freshman year I went to Glendale High.
Okay. Did you graduate?
I got my GED.
Okay. So where did you go to after Glendale High?
After Glendale, I went to North my sophomore year. And then after that, my junior year, I went to Carl Hayden and Greenway. And then my senior year, I went to Barry Goldwater.
Carl Hayden and then to Greenway and then to Barry Goldwater. Were you moving?
Yeah, I was in CPS.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's fine.
Goldwater's a good school, though. So is Greenway.
It was, yeah, I learned a lot being there.
I bet. Okay. Well, obviously, like I said, I need to talk to you about what happened. But since a police car brought you here, okay, and you're here, I'm going to read you something, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to the presence of an attorney to assist you prior to questioning if you so desire. If you cannot afford an attorney, you have the right to have an attorney appointed for you prior to questioning. Do you understand these rights?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So Philip and you, when did you guys meet?
Detective McMillan maintains a friendly tone as he reads Sagarnaga her rights and begins to ask questions about her relationship with the father of her child. It is a highly emotional subject, and there is a better chance that she won't shut down if she does not feel pressured or judged. I just wanted to let you know real quick that my merch shop, StrangerLabel.com, has a ton of quality and unique designs that you can purchase right now. And by doing so, support the channel at the same time. Items like the Architect and the Interrogator hoodies, the Mentally Checked Out and the Stranger t-shirts, the Do Not Cross mug and the All-Seeing beanie are all there and available. Check out these and other items I have to offer on StrangerLabel.com, and don't forget to use code STRANGER15 to get an extra 15% off your entire order. And with that out of the way, let's get back to the case.
I don't know, actually. I'm not sure exactly when we met, because he was kind of like a friend of the family. And like I'd see him around like at like get-togethers, but I never talked to him. Like when we like actually got together and started talking, it was 2013.
So 4 years ago. Okay. So, normal?
You know, I honestly don't really have anything to like compare it to, because
What, was it rough on you?
yeah, all of my pregnancies are rough, like mentally. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, talk to me about that.
I think just like a lot of like childhood trauma like started coming back up. You know, like all the hormones and everything. And we have a lot of support. I still don't talk to my family. He kind of had like a rough relationship with his family. Just feeling really alone. No one to talk to. Just feeling like nauseous all the time and hopeless and just like doubting myself. Like, you know, like, because I was working at the time when I got pregnant and I was doing really good. It was my second job and I was a manager and
Where at?
Clark's shoe store, the Tanger outlets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty good at my job. I enjoyed it. I was finally like getting myself on track because I had aged out of CPS. So like a month after my 18th birthday, like I was out on my own. And 2 years later, I found Philip. But I've always like had issues throughout my childhood with like depression and anxiety and stuff like that. And
the pregnancies just kind of made it.
It like brought it like back. Like I don't know, it was like way worse than anything I'd ever experienced. You know.
Did you go to counseling?
With her.
Okay.
So they got involved, and I was able to get sober in August last year.
Was it just marijuana?
Yeah, just marijuana. And so JCS finally pulled out October last year, and then I gave birth to her in December, and it's just so messed up. I was originally going to give her up for adoption because I just knew that I didn't feel like I had it in me because I don't have like a relationship with my mother, and I thought, how the hell am I gonna raise a little baby girl? You know, I don't know what it takes to be a good mother for a girl. But when I had her in the hospital and I held her, I just couldn't let her go. I couldn't leave. You know, I had to like, you know, suck it up and just work through it. I had to stop going to counseling because our car ended up breaking down. The transmission went out. We had to sell it. So that was like my only way to get to my appointments. Because Philip would take me. I had too much anxiety just to go take the bus by myself, you know.
And you have 3 kids.
Yeah, and no one to watch them. You know, Philip was the one that watched them. You know, he would take me to my appointment and like, you know, go out with the kids, do something, and then drive back and get me. It was going good, you know. I was pregnant though. I was getting counseling, so they couldn't like put me on any medication. But my counselor said that I should try and like schedule an appointment before I give birth. So like because like how long the wait time is, you know, they're hoping like, well, by the time you give birth, you know, your appointment will probably be maybe like a month out, you know, and you're not breastfeeding or anything, so it should be like easy after that. But you know, just the whole car thing.
We talked to Philip, obviously, and I know that you guys still smoke marijuana. I mean, he has some issues that he's going through, and obviously, you're talking about your depression. So, does that seem to help when you smoke marijuana? Does it help with some of your depression and anxiety?
It does help, you know, but it's kind of like a Band-Aid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of the it's just kind of like, to me, it's just kind of like putting a blanket over, like, I don't know, I have issues that I need to, like, what's that word? Like, I know I need to get help. I know I need help, but, like, the marijuana helps, but it's not enough. You know,
right.
I know it's not
you
enough.
You need to go deeper.
Yeah, it's like, rooted, you know, I know that now. You know?
Well, how often would you smoke marijuana?
Every day.
Like, how many times a day?
Like 3 times, like maybe like around like the mealtime. Like
Okay.
once in the morning and like in the afternoon and then like in the evening.
Now, do you have your medical marijuana card? Does Philip?
No.
Okay. Well, part
But I wanted this baby 100%. I was excited, you know, it was like our first baby. I was like, yeah, let's do this. You know, I felt all the bond, you know, when I saw him. that I was pregnant until after I had him and I posted pictures of him, you know. And, but as he got older, it seemed like, I felt like, I don't know, I felt bad saying it, but I felt kind of like, I didn't feel attached to him.
Sagarnaga has had issues with depression and childhood trauma, which she has been actively seeking counseling for. Circumstances prevented her from being able to make her appointments, and this emphasizes the need for more flexible mental health care. While online sessions are becoming more common, they are not universally provided. With the proper care, warning signs may have been spotted and dealt with. Sagarnaga was self-medicating with marijuana, which wasn't doing much to help. She speaks of starting to feel a lack of connection to her daughter, which is a classic sign of postpartum depression.
That, like, he'd cry and I didn't feel as bad as I should, you know, but eventually, you know, that kind of worn off, and I feel like maybe it's because he got, like, more older. I feel like the baby thing is, like, really, like, you know, caring for a baby versus, like, caring for a toddler. You know, he's a little more independent and get in a good mood all the time, and I was hopeful, and I was really glad that I stuck with my decision to keep her. And
That was the first month?
And
it's gone downhill since then?
Yeah, honestly, I started smoking again when she was 3 weeks. And I can't say, like, whether or not maybe smoking again. If it was, like, actual, like, the substance, or if it was just, like, in my head, like, I felt ashamed for smoking again, and it made me feel really guilty, like.
Gotcha.
So that started, like, taking its toll on me, but I couldn't just stop. I couldn't just stop smoking. Like, once I started, it was like a crutch again, you know. And
So it's kind of like you're in a rut.
yeah.
You know, you're feeling guilty, and you have 3 kids that you're taking care of, and you just can't get out of this hole, right?
Yeah. And I don't want to put any blame on Philip, but, like, he kind of, like, encouraged me in a way. Like, he said he noticed a difference in my mood when I smoke. You know, he's like, you seem more happy, like, you're not as tense, and, you know, like, you're just more pleasant to be around.
Were you not very pleasant to be around?
No. I'm not. I haven't been up until today. I've been, like, a freaking witch.
You mean up until today?
Like, just so angry all the time.
And today you weren't?
Yeah, actually, I was mad today because we didn't have any toilet paper.
Huh?
We didn't have any toilet paper. I was kind of upset about that, and Philip had to go grocery shopping, but he didn't have time to go in the morning, so, like, we barely had, like, a little bit of food to get by, like, to hold us until he got back, you know, off of work to go to the store and get stuff. He does a lot. Like, I don't go to the store and go grocery shopping. Like, when I got to the register and I'm trying to pay with the card, I kept putting in the wrong numbers. I was just like a wreck, you know, and, like, the register lady was like, do you need some help? And I'm sorry. I wanted to, like, run out of the store. But I was mad at him when he got home, too, because he gets off at 6 and he came home at 7:30, so I was like, you know, we got, like, caught up doing that. So I was mad when he got home.
Yeah.
And we got, like, preoccupied, kind of, like, arguing. We didn't check on her. The last time I saw her was when we woke up from a nap. The boys and I, we all went into the room. She was in there with us. And when we woke up around 6, I checked on her, and she was still like half asleep, kind of. I didn't want to, you know, wake her up. So me and the boys came out in the living room watching videos up until Philip got home. He was gonna go to the store and get food. He went to go check on her.
Go ahead.
I just feel so guilty. I know I had all these problems and I thought I could just suck it up. I hurt someone because of it.
What do you mean you hurt somebody?
I didn't check on her, I just left her in there. I wasn't very nice to her. Just honestly am just neglectful to her.
What happened tonight, Amber?
Nothing happened. I just, when she wouldn't stop crying when we went to sleep, so I put that blanket on her.
What do you mean you put the blanket on?
It was a big comforter, so she stopped crying.
Did you hold it over her?
No, honestly, I just tried to put it in a way that, like, you couldn't hear the crying come out, you know? 'Cause I couldn't get the boys to sleep because she was crying. And I didn't know what she wanted because I gave her a bottle and I changed her. And usually, like, when she's upset and she's crying and I don't know, like, I kind of feel myself getting to that point, I normally just put her in the room and I leave her.
Sagarnaga's inability to cope with the baby crying is one of the most common aspects of PPD. The noise is stressful, and being unable to understand why the baby is crying can fill the person with anger, hopelessness, and guilt. This is made worse by being unable to feel none of the usual compassion that a mother normally has for their child.
I know it's not the best thing to do, but that's just how I cope with how I'm feeling. I feel like in that moment, that's the best thing I could do is just put her in the room, just let myself cool off. But this time I didn't go back and check on her. It just
Where was she lying?
She was in her little pack and play.
Okay. And what kind of a comforter?
It was a big one. It was a king size one.
And was she lying on her back or her side?
I put her on her back. She was on her back.
And when you put the comfort over, did you just throw it on her or did you cover her with it? How did you? Walk me through that.
Just, well, in the pack and play we also had a little, you know, like those little things you have on the little mats that have like those things that come up and they have like things hanging from them, like a jungle gym or something. Well, we had that in there and she was underneath it. So I grabbed the blanket and I stuffed it underneath things. So it was on her, not over that thing.
When you put it on there, did you know that you were putting it on, like covering her, because you wanted to not hear her cry?
Yes. And honestly, I had done it before, but I'd never like left it on her. You know, like. You know, honestly, I feel like maybe the blanket would like comfort her because she'd usually stop crying after that. But I don't know, I just didn't take it off her this time.
And that was around 6?
No, this was when I put them to sleep around like 3. I put her in the room with us, but she was on the pack and play when we were on the bed.
And when did you see her again?
At 6 when I woke up. The blanket wasn't even on her. Like, I saw her face and I left her like that.
So at 3 o'clock this afternoon, she was crying. And you put the blanket underneath the little play gym thing to cover her up. And it was a big comforter. And then you went to sleep with the boys. And then you woke up at 6.
Yes.
But you could see her face?
Yeah.
Can she wiggle out?
Mm-hmm.
In other words, if you
I
covered her.
honestly think that maybe she did wiggle out because, like, she wasn't like that before I went to sleep. I didn't see her face before.
And
so
did she look okay at 6?
Well, she looked like she was like half asleep, kind of.
Was she?
But I didn't
Was she
feel
breathing?
Like, yeah, she was breathing. I didn't feel any concern that, you know, like something was wrong with her because she just seemed like she was like still tired.
Okay. And then that was at 6. And then when was the next time you checked on her?
It was when Philip came home.
Like around 8:30?
It was 7:30 when he came home, but he didn't check on her till 9. He came home and we started arguing.
Was she crying again?
I didn't hear her cry, but Philip said that he heard her cry when he got home.
You know, Amber, believe it or not, okay, I know what you're going through, okay? And I know that you've had a rough 4 years. And when women have kids, okay, and it messes with their hormones, okay, and I know that they get really depressed. But Philip made a comment to the officers today, okay, and they made a comment to the neighbor. And it has me really concerned, okay, that maybe the baby was crying and that you did something to the baby. You know, did you cover her head with a blanket? I mean, did you?
I just stuffed it around the thing.
Did you smother her? Was her crying just getting too much to you? I'm sorry, Amber.
You shouldn't be. This is my fault.
And that's what we're here to find out what happened to her. Okay?
Okay, I know. She deserves better.
Yeah.
McMillan gently presses for more details, trying to get a better understanding of Sagarnaga's actions and if she intended for her daughter to die, or if she truly was just trying to keep her quiet and an accident occurred.
Tell me what happened tonight.
Okay.
I can see.
Put the blanket on her. She still was not crying. She was still crying. So yeah, I took my hand and I put it on her.
You put it on her what?
On her face, and I just like that.
How long did you do that for?
A few seconds, maybe. Like that.
How hard?
I think maybe that hard. Like
Here,
that.
do my hand.
With the blanket like that.
Did she stop crying? And then what happened?
I just ignored her and laid down with the boys. She was still crying.
And then what happened?
I fell asleep with the boys in the room.
Okay. Keep going.
That's when I woke up at 6.
And she wasn't breathing, was she?
She was breathing.
She was?
Her eyes were open.
But was she breathing?
She looked like she was alive.
Was she crying?
No, she wasn't crying. I'm pretty sure she was breathing. I wouldn't have just left her like that if I saw she wasn't breathing. I couldn't have done that.
You know, I'm not saying
I
you would.
know.
But you made a comment, or you talked to the officer, and sometimes we do things when we're talking, okay? And when you were telling the officer what happened, and he thought it was a pillow, you told him no, it was a blanket. You wouldn't stop crying, and you made the motion like did you do that?
Yeah, I did.
And did she stop crying?
She didn't.
So what you're saying when you pushed my hand down, that was just that one time?
I've done it before in the past.
But I mean today. We're talking about tonight.
Yeah, that was the only time.
And you didn't cover her up anymore to stop her? You know? Stop crying. Were you just getting so frustrated and you couldn't take it anymore? Is that what happened? Help me understand. Talk to me. I know you feel horrible. I do.
I don't know how long I did it for. But I know when I fell asleep that she was alive.
And how do you know?
Because she was crying.
Okay.
I fell asleep to her crying.
So when she went...
when I woke up, I guess maybe she was breathing kind of funny.
Okay. And that was at 6 o'clock? And then you never saw her after that?
I didn't check on her again.
Do you know, why didn't you check on her?
I didn't want to deal with her, honestly.
Did you feel a little bit of relief because she wasn't crying anymore? Like when you woke up at 6, she wasn't crying. You think she was breathing, and you were in there. Did you feel like it was like a relief, like maybe you kept her from crying, or you solved the crying? Is that why you didn't check on her, or why didn't you check on her?
Because I just felt like she was okay.
Did you? Or did you know that she wasn't okay and you didn't want to go in there? Sometimes when things happen and people do things and they know it, like if it's in another room or if it's outside, sometimes they don't want to go in that room or go outside because they know what they did and they don't want to see what they did. Is that what happened today? No? You just didn't go in there?
I didn't want to go in there and like change it or anything.
Why?
I just wanted Phil to do it.
I'm gonna get you some Kleenex. Do you need anything else?
Can I use the bathroom?
Yeah, I have to get a female officer. Can you?
Yeah, I've been holding it.
Sagarnaga is having a difficult time facing her actions. She may be unable to process that she was even capable to do such a thing. And sometimes, to protect itself, the mind invents an alternative series of events.
Okay. Okay. Feel better? Quit using the restroom? Okay. I just have a few more questions, okay? I'm going to go back a little bit with your depression, okay? Has your depression before today, okay, and your anxiety and has it ever gotten the better of you with the kids? And I'm talking strictly with the kids. You know, I mean...
I think this is the worst it's ever been.
But what I mean is... What do you mean this is the worst?
Just like...
I can't hear you.
Just neglecting her is...
Okay. No, I'm a father. I know.
Yeah, I've hit them.
Okay. Out of like anger?
Sometimes.
In the face and the...
I don't know, like, you know, when babies, they want the bottle and they're trying to take it, but then they're like rolling it around their tongue and they're just like fussing. And that's what she was doing. Just... It was like when you're holding the bottle for them, and I grabbed it.
Use the water bottle. Show me.
When I'm feeding her, she didn't take the bottle, so I went to that in her mouth.
Okay, use your hand as her. Use mine.
I don't know how I did it like that, like 4 times.
And when was that?
This was. Is it already after midnight? It was,
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it was it was Wednesday. Yeah, it was Wednesday.
And you talked about the comforter. You did this one other time. When was that?
I don't know, maybe last week.
Okay. Same way, underneath the little mobile, or?
Yeah, and like I kind of tucked it around her, kind of to keep her cries from coming out.
Did you hold it down a couple weeks ago, like you showed me, over her face?
Yes.
And she was okay after that? Why this time was it different?
I don't know. I think 'cause I didn't take the blanket off of her.
And before you did? But this time you didn't?
No, I just left it on her. 'Cause I figured she was fine. She wasn't like wrapped up in it or anything or caught in it.
Did you really think she was fine?
Well, I know she wasn't fine because I put a blanket over her, but I was just gonna wait for her to cry before I, bothered with her again.
See, this time was different, obviously, okay, than the last time. And I want you to know right now, I am not judging you, okay? I am not judging you. And I am not calling you, I don't think you're a horrible person, okay?
No,
I don't.
she's okay.
And we'll talk about that, but I want to know this time, okay? I want to know exactly what happened this time. Because, see, what I think happened is a little bit different than what you're telling me, okay?
I don't know, like, maybe I put it in a way that I put the blanket on her that she couldn't breathe.
Did you mean
But
to do that?
I didn't sit there and, like, smother her or anything because I was trying to put the kids to sleep. It was like a few seconds. I swear it just felt like a few seconds just holding it. And then just letting go. She was still crying. I didn't want to keep doing it. She was still freaking crying and doing anything. And that's why I decided just to ignore her and put the boys to sleep because I didn't want to do anything worse.
Did you think about doing something worse?
I felt doing a lot of things.
Like what?
It's mostly stuff about myself, but I was just recently thinking that maybe like we could like give her up or something.
Why her?
Because I wasn't feeling attached to her.
Deciding to put a child up for adoption is a hard choice. In this case, it probably would have been the best decision for Sagarnaga.
And I bond with her like how I do with the others. It wasn't fair to her. Like, it doesn't deserve a mother like that. It doesn't feel for them.
Did you want her gone?
It's hard. It's a hard feeling because like I did want her gone, but then I didn't. You know, like I only wanted her gone because I felt inadequate. You know.
What's this about a YouTube video that you showed Philip yesterday about a baby dying? A music video or something like that? You told Philip you knew that this was going to happen because you watched a YouTube video and you showed it to him like a couple days ago or something? Or a video, and in that video a baby died?
No, this was like months ago. There's on the news, like I heard like some woman like killed her 3 kids or something like that, and
Did you think that was going to be you?
I didn't want it to be, but it felt like it could have been me.
Did you have thoughts of that happening? Were you just so upset and just so frustrated and depressed? Did you have thoughts of killing your kids?
I had thought about killing all of us while Philip's not there.
Have you ever tried?
So
You never thought about it? I mean, never actually tried to do it?
no,
How recent was that thought?
I don't know. Yeah, we weren't doing that good on changing her.
Why?
It's freaking overwhelmed. I try my best, like, caring for kids is so hard. It's all repetitive stuff.
And
Changing
it's
diapers.
constant.
No one cares. No one says good job. Philip just always butting heads with me. He's always going against me.
But were you changing the other kids? Or was it just Mary? I want to be honest with you, okay? It looks like it had been there a while. And she was pretty dirty.
Yeah, I know. It was going away. Now with all the kids, when I start to slack off with changing them and it gets more put on Philip, the rush comes up. But I know it's not his fault.
Right. What about bathing for you and I? Because we've been up all day and all night. So, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
3 days ago?
It was, I'm pretty sure it was Wednesday. It was the day that I did that to her lip.
Okay.
I don't think so.
You don't remember it?
I feel like everything was pretty good up until when I was trying to put them to sleep and I did that thing with the blanket.
Do you think that what you did with that blanket, I mean, do you think it was wrong?
I know it was wrong.
And why do you know it was wrong? I asked you earlier before, and again, I want you to know I'm not judging you. I'm not. Okay?
I'm just judging myself.
I know, and that's normal. But I asked you earlier. I asked you the reason why you didn't go back in there. Okay? And I'm going to tell you what I think, because you're not the first person to sit here. Okay? You're not the first mom or dad, okay, who had this done.
What happens to them?
You know what I'm saying is you didn't want to go back in there because you knew what happened, don't you? Didn't you?
No. This has happened before where I just leave her and then I don't go in there. Because I don't want to bother with her. I didn't think she was dead. I didn't feel like she was dead.
McMillan is able to get Sagarnaga to admit to thinking about killing her children. It's chilling to hear, because it is entirely possible that she could have killed the other two if they had caused her too much stress.
I guess maybe I wasn't 100% sure that she was completely okay.
Well, when the officer saw her, her eyes were open. And that's what you're saying you saw. But she wasn't breathing when the officers saw her. And obviously when Philip was there. Because he called 911, was given CPR, wasn't he? Did she look the same when you saw her at 6?
No, she looked different. Her skin tone, she looked like pale or something right now when I saw her. She had like, and she had like stuff coming out of her mouth. And she wasn't like that when I.
You know, I was just talking to my partner about, he was talking to Philip, and I'm a little bit confused at when Philip and you went in there.
Philip went in there.
I mean, and then you came in, and Philip was telling you to clean. What was the whole deal with cleaning?
I don't know. I think I told him he was being irrational. I think he just was kind of in shock, and he's like, let's start cleaning.
Okay.
I think because he just didn't want to like look any more bad than what already did. But I was like, I feel like that was like the least of our concern.
Okay. The other question I had was, when we're talking about, you're talking about the pack and play.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what color was the comforter? Is there only one comforter? I haven't been over there yet.
It was a purple comforter with like gold.
Okay, it was purple and gold. Was there anything else in the crib? Or the
There
pack
was
and play?
other blankets.
Okay.
We were wrapped up in anything.
Did she, when she was born, or did you take her to the doctor?
She only went to the first doctor's appointment.
Okay.
We didn't take her back for 2 months.
Okay. Has she gotten no medical issues? She eat pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay. Is she on formula?
Yeah.
Okay. How much formula do you feed her?
It depends. She usually eats like a 6-ounce bottle like every 3 hours.
Does she eat it all?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now, is she, do you remember how much she weighed when she was born?
She was a little over 8 pounds.
Oh wow, big baby. Good. Okay. What about your boys? Are they big babies?
They were less. I think they were both 7 pounds each.
I know.
She just hurt
sorry. I'm gonna come back and I got some more things to talk to you about, okay? And I may have some more answers for you, okay?
What? What was that? What was that? I didn't hear you.
I'm gonna come back in just a second, okay? I gotta do. This is a search warrant, okay? And this is on this warrant. We're going to take some buccal swabs. Yeah, we're going to take some photographs of you, and we're also going to take some blood, okay? Signed by a judge. And that's your copy. Okay, do you want to look at it first before I do it? No? You know, one of the hardest things that a mom tries to do, and they juggle 3 kids, you know, and it's always about feeding and sleeping time. Those are always it seems like and as a parent for me, those are always the roughest times because you have kids crying. You know, it always seems like it's that, because one baby will wake up the other one, and then they talk, you know, and then they just will never get to sleep, and then you get tired. That was always frustrating to me. One of the questions I did have for you, though, is do you think that blanket, do you think that blanket could have done it? I mean, did you know that a blanket, like putting a blanket on her, could do that to her?
I know it was possible.
But you did it anyway? Why? I'm gonna ask you a question. What? Go ahead.
I don't know.
I'm gonna ask you.
I just wanted her to be better off.
No, but Mike.
I didn't want her dead.
Sagarnaga is breaking down. The emotional weight of what has happened is too much for her to deal with. Whatever her motivation at the time, she seems to have genuine remorse for her daughter's death.
You just wanted her to have a better life? Okay. Did you mean for this to happen? Okay. So come on. Okay, in just a few minutes, someone's going to come in and they're going to take photographs of you, okay? You have any questions for me?
Where are the boys at?
So JCS has gotten involved and they're taking the boys. They have to, okay? And then there'll be a hearing and things like that. Philip, we're doing the same thing that we're doing with him, okay? You are under arrest. I'm sorry. Okay. I am going to charge you with second-degree murder, okay? I am terribly, terribly sorry. Huh?
I didn't want this to happen.
I'm sorry.
Hi, ma'am. All right, I'm just going to do some real quick basic photos.
G-E-A.
G-E-A. Okay. All right, just get you to stand up against that wall for me real quick. Can I turn and face the wall that way? And then turn and face the wall that was just behind, nope, right behind you. It's all right. Now face the other wall. Just have a seat. That was all I needed.
Once the interview is over, Sagarnaga is photographed and taken from the room.
Detective Hind? You're Amber? Okay, Amber, stand on up for me. Okay. I'm gonna have you just put your hands just out in front of you. Okay, go ahead and grab your water. You can keep that. And then, yeah, I'll take that and I'll make sure this gets into your property. Okay. Come on this way. We're gonna go down this direction.
Amber Sagarnaga was charged with first-degree murder in the death of her daughter. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, there is a Patreon link in the description where you can support the channel further. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.